You want to see some bad door pins? I'll show you some bad door pins. AKA Dorman garbage. Bottom one's tight though. That one's solid as a rock. I think it's still... No, so it's just the top there. I mean, that is absolute garbage. They're supposed to be tight as a frickin' you know what. They are not. That's Dorman for you. Of course, I think Dorman has two kits. One with threads and one with the stupid clip. And I went with the one with the clip because, I don't know, something about it. I was like, well, I'm probably going to need the one with the clip. I don't know. I really don't remember why I did it, but it wasn't the right move. I'm hoping the new ones are, there's ones with threads on the bottom with a nut. I'm hoping they'll be a lot better here. Let's see if I get the light to turn on. Yep. Okay. Both hands. So, it's got a nut on it. It's a brass bushing, sleeve thing, whatever. But you can see the grease hole there. And when you take the cap off, you can shoot that full of grease. So that should help preserve the brass bushing from wearing out, since I believe that is what wears out. So these are the guys. 45 bucks a set, and came with the brackets, which was extra, which this whole kit was $84 shipped to the door, which is just this guy in case the the holes got wallowed out or something, which I'll find out once I get it back off. And this is not going to be very difficult either. I mean, I'll just use my pick and get in there and pull them stupid clips off. So, and then it'll just pop right out. That's not how it's supposed to be, but that's how it is. And, of course, I only have 2 pins, so I'm going to have to live with this one for now. But all the weight is pretty much pushing against the bottom, and that is as solid as can be. That's how it should be. But, so I'm hoping I can get away with doing the top ones. And I'll order another kit, and I'll do both of them. But for now, the colder it gets, the worse this door closes. And you can see I just pulled the harness out of the door instead of... doing it the other way, pulling the plugs out, routing them through the hole. No, for me it's just as easy. I know where everything is, and I can just easily, less than 10 minutes pull that out, pull the door off. So the door's sitting over there. So, but yeah, I don't know why, but the colder it gets, the more the harder it is to get it to pop up and onto the latch by just pulling it closed. So, and even during the summertime, it gives me grief. I just can't stand it. When I first put these in, they were tighter, so I don't know what happened, but because it did close like brand new, pretty close to brand new. It still had some slop in it, but that is really, really bad. So it better not have wallowed out my frickin' bracket on the truck, because that's welded on, and I'm not welding on a new one. If anything, I'd shoot some weld in there and Dremel it out or drill it out or whatever, so it's the right snug fit type of thing. I'm sure that's probably not as solid as pure steel bracket, but it's just the bushing that's got to fit snug in there and whatnot. So that's the idea, if that's worst case scenario, because I'm not messing with grinding and welding, pulling the fender off, and you don't have room. You just don't have room, and it's not even on the remote list of what I'm gonna do. So hopefully everything's all copacetic yet, and the brass bushing just took a shit or something. I don't know. So hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for part 2, which will be hopefully an infinitely tighter bracket. That is garbage. So thanks for watching. Well, here we're gonna look. I did set it. So when I pulled the swinging bracket off here, this was just sitting there. That's the top lip of the brass bushing, which is that top lip. It was just, did that. And you can still see there's a rim of a brass bushing there yet. So it's in there, so thank goodness that it's in there. But the fact that it just snapped off. And when I did this one, it was pretty much the same way. It was stuck in there, and it actually wiggled up a little bit, maybe about an eighth of an inch, a 16th of an inch, and then it like stuck again. And I tried grabbing it with the pick, and the top lip was flaking off like it was a chunk of frozen ice or something. It just was brittle. It just snap, 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 snap all the way around. So then I had this stupid collar sticking up, but I just took these are the best freaking pair of needle nose pliers I've ever had. I tell you what, and they're not even mine. They're my cousin's, but he doesn't know they're messing yet. I've had them for like 5 years now, so. But yeah, I just stuck the thing up on the bottom of the lip of the brass bushing and pushed up, and it shot out of there. So that's good. It's on the floor somewhere. But I just could not believe that it's so brittle, and I'm glad that the brass bushing's in there, because that means the hole isn't wallowed out. And I tried taking the new one and setting it in here, and it's a snug fit. It's a snug fit, so we'll be good to go there. And these bushings are a whole lot, it's just a smidge, but that's nothing compared to what we're moving like an eighth of an inch back and forth. You know, that's pathetic. That is pathetic, Dorman. Get your shit together. But I think it all comes down to the brass bushing, and I think there wasn't enough. I mean, this is going to be hard to see on camera, I suppose, but how thin that is to how thick that is. I mean, that's quite the thickness difference. I mean, not really, but it's more on the good kit, the new kit. So I'm not even sure I'm going to use this bracket, because I don't believe that there's a problem with it. I'll obviously test fit and make sure that everything's, copacetic, but here's the old one. Nothing majorly wrong. It's just that they aren't a snug fit inside the brass bushing. And with no grease, which I didn't grease them, and I should have. I didn't even think of it. Shame on me. But had I greased them, they probably would have lasted a little bit longer. But I'm still facing the issue of that is horrendous. Oh my gosh, that blows my mind that it is that bad. I mean, come on. That is so bad. What I should do is find another wash. Oh, look, it's doing the same thing. Look at that, the brass bushing. It broke. Look, it's either that or the brass bushing is just that loose in there. Holy shit. Just find a washer, and I doubt I'm going to find one that thin to fit in between there, but to help draw that down tight. And not that this clip is going to do a whole lot, because it's just the thinnest, chintziest clip. And when I got this kit and I read some reviews on it, it was that the clip was almost spread open too far, that it just went on and just slid, it just pop off really easily. So what I did is I squished it with a pair of pliers, just squished it down a little bit and then fit it over. It was a lot more snug. And I actually had the bottom one, when I was pulling it off, it just went ching. So surprising that it was that tight, yet the top one just kind of came off. But yeah, that's unacceptable. I'll have to see if maybe O'Reilly's has the Dorman kit. Didn't hear me say that, but that I could maybe the one with the threads on it, and I can stick a washer and tighten her down or something, because that's a little unacceptable. That's disgusting. 100%. You cannot have that. So, interesting facts for the Dorman kit users. Keep an eye, grease them, do whatever you got to do. Not that you'd have to pull your old door apart to grease them, but something's better than nothing, I think. Holy shit. So, Minnesota's giving me plenty of ammo to become the king of cold starts. Whoopsie. Whoops. Never figured the Honda would frickin' act like a diesel in the cold. Ah, that was a good one. Well, it was negative 25 last night. Real temperature, not real feel. Boy, is she tootin'. We gotta go get that Dorman hinge pin kit. So I got the one with the nuts on it, so I finished the door on the truck. Oh, let that warm up for a minute. I'm already frozen. That was a good one. Purring like a kitten now. Purring like a kitten. Thanks for watching. God bless. Okay, so I just got back and I just installed this third pin here. Dorman kit 38453. It gave me a bit of a fight, but I'm glad this kit has. Now at O'Reilly's they offer both kits. Now, I don't know why one is vastly superior than the other in the sense that I can tighten this up, take up any slack, whereas, you know, this one I can't. It's fixed. This is just the size it is, and all that holds it in is that little C-clip at the bottom. They still sell this kit. Don't know why. They're about the same price, but this one you can tighten up. Now, what I had a problem with is the splines on the top pin. They didn't want to go into this bracket, but, and that was the same thing with this one. I probably could have used something different and whatever, but it'll be interesting. It's a little stiff. It's smooth and it is incredibly tight, and I mean there's not any rattling whatsoever. This one's pretty close to it too. It's about the same tightness here, but it loosens up here and then tightens up a bit, but you can hear ever so slight amount of slop, and that's just between here and the bushing. I greased it, but that just is what it is, I guess. But I was able to use the nut and tighten and pull it down in, because I tried hammering on it, and it did not want to come out very nicely. So it started driving the bracket down. So don't want to pinch it. So it is what it is. It's tight now and it's greased. And here it sounds like quality, right? But it's better than it's so much better than it was. So I mean, everything is incredibly tight yet. So very happy. Now the one thing I don't have you're gonna need is a 90-degree grease zerk fitting, so you can just kind of slide it on here and grease it, because like mine, it's too tall, too straight, it won't fit in this area. But I took it off again and then shot some grease in it, made sure it was greased, or I put it in. So till I get a 90-degree fitting, but it is what it is. But they did give me little caps, which I gotta find in the dark now, to make sure the grease zerk fittings stay clean. So, not that they're actual grease zerk fittings, they're just something the grease zerk fits onto, and whatchamacallits, and just open holes. Doesn't have a little check ball to keep grease from coming back out, but that's what it is. Much better than it was. That is for sure. Excited to see how much better it closes. Hopefully this being a little bit tighter won't affect much. So I can loosen it up a little bit, but I like it the way it is. It's nice and tight, and the door is so freaking heavy as is that it's not going to matter too much. So let me get the door on, and we're going to see how well she fits. So alrighty. Okay, so door pins are so much better. That is with very little, well, I wouldn't say very little, but that's with minimal effort. Like this door, closes beautifully. So this door, well, you know, it's close enough. Not a whole lot of effort, but for 4, I was having to try and do that number. Now, you can tell the driver's door sticking out just a hair. Before it was sucked in a little bit, I had to adjust the latch so that it would close like that. And because it was still doing that number. Oh, that drives me bonkers. Oh! So, you know, and that was with the same effort type of thing. So now it's just very semi-minimal. It's hard to train my body to not have to use so much force now, but cow, that's nice. So the door is infinitely tighter. Still has a little bit of, you know, movement, but it's nothing like it was. And obviously beautiful, like not brand new, but as close to brand new as we're probably going to get. So, and I compared it against the other side. Let's do this here. Pop it, and then if I can easily do that, which was the same thing on the passenger side. And granted, the passenger side's probably not as new-like as it could be, but I mean, it doesn't take, that takes about the same effort. It takes maybe just a hair more now since I adjusted that latch, but look at the door. It's almost even. It's hard to tell. Almost even. So that's what I was trying to do, and I'll probably keep trying to do on the other side. But, you know. So, obviously, it's going to need a little bit more effort if I suck the door in just a smidge. Now, even now, I mean, before I did all this, I was having wind noise, especially when, you know, when you're going down the freeway and you know, start veering right. The gap would open up on the top of the door, and you'd start getting some whistling. But I know because the rockers aren't here, this pillar is moving ever so slightly. I mean, you can almost see it when you slam a door real hard, that it kind of, you know, twitches a little. Nothing severe, but, you know, it's like, gee, if the rockers were intact, it probably wouldn't be doing that. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is that it's probably fluttering a little bit going down the road, and maybe pulling the door away from the gasket. But I have a brand new door gasket. I had put one on the passenger side, but the one on over here, for some reason, bound the door up so incredibly bad that it would not close unless I slammed it as hard as physically possible, and then it would latch. Otherwise, it would do this half-catch thing, and that would just piss me off to no end. Like, I'm not living with that either. So, but everything's lubed up. Not that you can see, but everything's lubed and ready to go. Oh, what happened to the thingy? Well, I gotta look on the ground for the boot, and just notice that's gone. I suppose the one off the top bottom's gone too, huh? Yep. That's cool. So I gotta find the rubber boots then. They're laying on the ground somewhere. Oh, you lose something in this shed, and you do not find it again. That is one of the rules. Oh, here's one. Just about blends in, being all dirty. But, anyway, I wonder if that'll even stay on there. It probably fell off when I was putting the door on, but that sucks. It better not fall off again. Anyway, so it is what it is. But everything's lubed up, tightened up. It's working great. I'm gonna fiddle with the latch just a little bit. I like how it closes that much easier. God, that's nice. But I want the door to be flush. I mean, it's how it was when the truck was new, and it's clear as day down here that it's not. So, I mean, that's. If I can have it as close as possible, I will. It's just not great. Don't ask me where I set the Allen wrench. Oh boy. Oh, it's one of the rules. Don't set stuff down unless you know where you set it down. Ah, shit. T40. Just loosen up the two and slide it back and forth. Try not to move it up and down, because that's one of them things. It's fine where it's at. It just needs to go in or out. Uh-oh. Well, now I gotta try and find an Allen wrench in this place. Jeez, why do I do that to myself? Oh, it just makes things infinitely harder. Okay. Shit. So anyway, I'll have to look around for that. Maybe it's not in my pocket. Why would it be in my pocket? That'd be too convenient. So yeah, we're going to adjust that. We're going to see how that goes. So that's about that. It closes that much easier, and we're all set to go there. So I don't know, one day, maybe in the summertime when it's not so freaking cold, I'll try swapping the gasket again and seeing. So it is pretty flat. It is really flattened. I mean, that's just flat. There's nothing there anymore. So, yeah, it's supposed to be rounded. But for some reason, the new gasket was like too hard or too bubbly or something that it just... Something wasn't catching right. And I've never had that before because I replaced the door gaskets on the LB7, and that one... I did have a little bit of problem, but I adjusted the latch and everything seemed to be fine. But closing the rear doors is pretty hard, and that one you got to slam. But you got to slam them to begin with anyway. Otherwise, it's like they catch, but they don't catch all the way. It's really hard to describe. It's like it's got three positions. It's got, you know, kind of like that kind of catch, which is not all the way. But then it's got another kind of click. But that's still not all the way. It's like one of the two latches, top and bottom latches, but not both at the same time. So in order to get both of them, you got to really lay into it and slam it in order to get both latches to latch. And then you're set to go. So that's what I'm talking about. But with the new gasket, it was harder for the rear doors. But the front one, I just adjusted the latch, made it a bit easier. And... mum's the word, don't have any wind noise, and that's what I'm hoping over here, because on passenger side there's no wind noise, and that door did not give me any grief whatsoever. I didn't have to adjust the latch, nothing. It was almost like as if I didn't have to do it at all, but I did anyway, because, you know, 11 years old, more than that, 17, 16, my math is 5, 10, 15, so 16 years old, and 300,000 miles of door closing, and they're pretty flattened. So one day I'll get to swapping that gasket again, and we'll see if we can actually, with the door, you know, swinging right, if it'll be just fine or what. So I'm gonna find this Allen wrench hopefully, and see about getting this door flush, because that's one of them things that I'm OCD. It's got to be like it was. I mean, before I did it was just a hair sucked in, and that's where it was taking the extra effort. But I just want it flush. So passenger side's flush. I want this flush. So, alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's the installment of. I did not include the name of the door pins. I know. What brand did you get? He doesn't sell to. Apparently, he doesn't sell to. Well, this doesn't say, does it? To individuals. Door pins online. It comes from Canada. So, anyway. That's that. But I've done some automotive work in the past, so I kind of go by a name. So I type that name in the business section, and mum's the word. So, alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed. I think, if you don't need the greasable ones, I'm pretty sure the Dorman ones will do you just fine. Not that this side's been replaced, but I'm just looking at it. So, yeah, just make sure to lube them and whatnot, and make sure they're nice and tight and snug. There must be an updated design, but why they still sell the old ones, I don't know. But the old one is absolute garbage. So, okay, final time. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. God bless.